Today I want to talk about aggressive positioning when your partner's hitting a third. I recently did a video where I coached a 4.5 player to become a 5.0, and one of the things I talked about was aggressive positioning. And I wanted to make some more points on that in this video. Now, it's best to do this when your partner hits a good third or a good drive. So if they're consistently hitting a pretty good third or good drive, this is extra important to do this so that you reward your partner for hitting a good third, and you can pressure or crash onto your opponents, making their court feel very small and making them make more mistakes than they would, versus just kind of sitting back and giving your opponent all of the court to work with. Much easier for your opponent to deal with when they have a lot of court, when they're having to deal with a nasty drive from your partner or a good drop from your partner. So with that in mind, this is great strategy for when you're playing with a 4.5 or above partner, or just, again, anyone that's hitting a great drive or drop. Now let's look at just how aggressive this positioning is. You might watch that clip from the 4.5 to 5.0 video with Sam and think, oh, well, he's doing it right. He's getting up there pretty well. But there's even extra aggressive positioning that Sam could have and the others could have if they just know it exists. So here we have on our diagram, we have our opponents at the kitchen. Our opponent just returned, ran up, they hit the third to our partner, and now we're here. This is about kind of where a lot of people stand in open play, somewhere around in here, and just kind of watch. But the aggressive positioning, when I say taking these cheat steps, I mean you really want to take several cheat steps up in here. Watch your partner hit. As they're hitting, if you notice it's going to be a good drop or a strong drive, you're going to crash or hunt, as I like to call it. So you're hunting here. Now let's say your partner drops it over here like he did in this clip. He actually dropped it kind of more middle, and this person here, they're hitting the ball kind of like here. And notice as this ball gets behind them and as they get turned a little bit, their angles that they could hit this are going to be more like this. If they're contacting the ball more out in front of them, however, they have more angles like this. So depending on how far out or behind this ball gets on your opponent, depends on how just aggressive you can poach or hunt. So again, as this ball gets more behind them, you can position more aggressively as you expect their angles to be more like this. And as the ball is more out in front, you have to stay home a little bit more, so you might not be able to take quite as an aggressive stance. But here, when it gets behind them, like it did in the clip, that's really when you can look to come jump this, because again, your opponents are trying to just go right back to your partner who's stuck at the baseline, and this aggressive position just trying to take that away from them. This is really good because as the serving team, you are already at a huge disadvantage because your opponents are taking the kitchen on the return. So it's okay to be a little more aggressive and a little higher risk, higher reward with your positioning if it does put pressure on your opponents. Let's look a little bit more at examples of how you would position off of where your partner hits the ball. So again, we have you taking these cheat steps, your partner hits the ball. Let's say they hit it out here to the side. This is one where I would have you come in, but if the ball is in front of your opponent and they're hitting it about here, their angles get very sharp. Now this is where you can be coming up and looking to jump this when they try to go back to your partner. And that is really going to squeeze their court. They're going to feel like instead of being able to just go all in here, they're going to feel like you're poaching in on this or hunting this, and then they're going to feel like their court gets away really small here. So that's going to make them feel like they only have this area, whereas before they had maybe this much area. And that's just with you kind of getting in their head ready to go either here or here. But again, you see a lot of players just kind of come up a little casually, and they're not even prepping to jump this or that. And that's really what I want to see in this aggressive positioning, an ability to be able to jump here and jump here to take away angles regardless of where your opponent goes with this ball. One of my favorite times to be aggressive and to hunt balls is when I'm on the left side because I'm right-handed and I have my forehand in the middle, and when my partner goes to the outside of my opponents, and then I can come in and look to poach or hunt with my forehand. This is one of my favorite plays in all of pickleball. So how I'd coach you to do that is if you're here and then your partner's hitting this drop and they go to the outside, this really allows me to come in aggressively because I can come to about here when this ball gets over in this area, and I can still have the ability to jump here to protect this angle. Let's put the ball over there. I can still jump over here to get this angle with my backhand if needed, but I'm really trying to take away this ball to go back to my partner by being able to jump that as well. Because my partner wouldn't have had time off usually to get in on their third, but because I took those cheat steps and came in like here, I can jump that and I can jump that. Now look how aggressive this positioning is. When this ball comes out here, I will literally like be on this side of the service line. And maybe at open play, people might get mad. Oh, this is my half of the court. Let's stay on your half. But we're talking about 4.5 plus level of play, and this is pretty common stuff to do. Aggressive positioning, making your opponent's court feel very tiny. Your other option is to just stay back, as a lot of people do, and then your opponents have a lot of court to work with. But when I come up here and hunt, they have very little court to work with. This might look open, but again, I'm hunting in a way that allows me to jump this and jump this. I rarely will hunt in a way that allows them this area over here. So I'm definitely trying to choose balls where I can hunt more aggressive and efficient. So that's it for today on this topic. This aggressive positioning goes a little bit deeper, but really, as you're playing, I want you to just start trying to look for ways to be more aggressive with your positioning. Make your opponent's court feel smaller on their fourth shot, their sixth shot, their eighth shot. Learn your boundaries. Learn how far you can kind of hunt while still being able to protect your side of the court. It's easy to overhunt and then get burned on your side of the court, but just start trying it. Learn what you can hunt and what you can't. To me, this is one of the funnest things in pickleball, is going to hunt off of my partner's third shot drops and drives. So hopefully you can start exploring this and find more times to put pressure on your opponents too. Well, thanks for watching and have a good day. Bye.